Welcome to Six Figs. I'm Kyle. In today's video, we're talking about the internet computer, some very important news, and what's going on within the ecosystem and the charts across the board, folks. Follow me on Twitter at Real6Fig because this is where I'm dropping juicy little nuggets like ICP making panties drop, baby. Now, we had some stuff go down with the markets. A lot of people are blaming Jim Kramer. Well, guess what? There was a lot of rising wedges that I found in the charts, and I've been telling you guys about them for like the last week. Now, we'll get into that towards the end of the video, but Jim Kramer, who back in the 2021 bull market, because I was around, he bought into Bitcoin, said it was the greatest thing in the world. And guess what he did? He paid off his house with it, folks. Yeah, that's right. He paid off his house with his profits from Bitcoin. Now, after he paid off his house, he went full-blown bearish mode on Bitcoin. And it's funny that a lot of people are blaming him for the most recent drop in price. And I think it's funny because a lot of people, at least in the trading community, know that it's probably a safe assumption that whatever Jim Kramer is saying, you go right ahead and inverse it and you'll make money instead of losing money. Not financial or trading advice, folks, but Jim Kramer is you couldn't get closer to a snake in the grass like you could to Jim Kramer. Don't trust a single word this guy says because he is a paid-off former hedge fund manager with lots of connections. And guess what? He uses his platform to feed investors lines and lines of BS so people like Goldman Sachs can make a buck. And speaking of the devil, Goldman Sachs, which I'll tell you guys an interesting story once. One of my friends, I don't really got nothing against Goldman Sachs, but one of my friends right out of college got a job at Goldman Sachs in New York City. And out of college, he came home to chill or hang out for like a week or something. And he pulls up in a brand new Escalade. We went riding around in that thing. But he did very well at Goldman Sachs. I haven't talked to him in years, so I might have to figure out what's going on with him. But Goldman Sachs, folks, wants to enter the Bitcoin ETF market, folks, and they want to be a participant. So this is going to get interesting, and I think we're starting to see the trickle-in effect, and we're starting to see all of these big hedge funds wanting to break in to the action. So it's not surprising. Speaking of ETFs, at least 3 SEC commissioners are for ETF approval, says Bloomberg analyst. And I don't know who the hell Eric Blocktimus is, but she is a senior ETF analyst for Bloomberg and has stated that at least 3 out of the 5 SEC commissioners are in favor of approving spot Bitcoin ETFs. Now, we've got to get past the good old evil Gary Gensler. You couldn't find more of a dishonest commissioner for the Securities and Exchange Commission. I don't think if you went up to the moon and waved a stick at the earth, Gary Gensler would be number one. How this guy is in power at the SEC is beyond me, simply because he's got connections big time to all the hedge funds. He doesn't prosecute any of them for market manipulation. He doesn't go after anybody because he's paid off, I'm assuming, by them to do all the dirty work, like screw over all of these crypto projects and sue all of these crypto projects. So we're going to get into some cool stuff here, guys. And if you're new to the internet computer, I want you guys to just go up to your search browser and just type in Kinnick.io, and it'll bring you right to this main page, as you can see. But what you're seeing up here is the address to Internet Computer Smart Contract. Now, we are accessing a smart contract right now, and this might look like Google. Guess what? It looks just like Google. It acts just like Google. And guess what? There's a bunch of tabs down here. So if you want to see what kind of games, NFT projects are out there, you can also just type in, let's just go DeFi, and see what comes up. We've got IC Lighthouse. I love IC Lighthouse. This is where I'll do so. I did some trading on IC Lighthouse last night. I was trading gold, gold governance token. So this is an interesting thing. So you guys got to check out Connect.io if you want to explore the IC. Now let's just check out what's going on with internet computer controlling Bitcoin on the Bitcoin chain. So right now we've got 100, and we'll just round that up to 175 Bitcoin under control of the internet computer on the Bitcoin network. That's pretty cool. And we have seen a crazy amount, a million transactions, million CKBTC transactions, maybe 1.1, okay, on the all-time charts. So that is huge. That is very huge. And then on Ethereum, we can see how people are starting to trust the internet computer to control their assets like Bitcoin. This thing's going parabolic. So a lot of Bitcoiners are taking notice on how IC can really go ahead and complement Bitcoin and bring some extra utility to the network. So we're seeing Ethereum, there's 444 ETH. There was 675 as of yesterday under the control of the internet computer. So that is pretty cool to say the least. And we're sitting at a cool 250,000 transactions to say the least. But a big shout out, folks. Big shout out to Candace Marquette, one of the internet computer OGs. She painted this insane wall at the Definity headquarters in Zurich. So she has gone ahead and got a deal with Walmart to sell her art and stuff like that on mugs and cups and stuff like that. So this is huge. So I'm definitely going to pick one of these things up. I just love like this surreal type of, I don't know, grungy art. This is just so cool to me. She makes great stuff, to say the least. And if you guys want, support her. I'm not getting any kickbacks, but I will throw the links to all her socials here, her stores and Walmart page in the comments and the description. So support Walmart, support Candace. That would be amazing. Now the markets, folks, everything looks like it looks bad, okay? It looks real bad. I'm trying to find the internet computer in here. A couple days ago, the bubble was so big you couldn't even miss it. But where is ICP here, folks? I don't know. Let's check it out. ICP. Come on, ICP. Oh, there we go. Oh, wow. Wow. This is insane, folks. The internet computer is now at rank number 16. Let's check out crypto, CoinGecko, excuse me. Okay, so this thing looks like, in the grand scheme of things, we have now retaken Wrap, Bitcoin, Shiba, DAI. We are gunning for Toncoin. Gonna be a little bit of time before we can hit Toncoin. But if the internet computer can catch up to Toncoin here, folks, guess what? We're gonna catch up to Link, Polygon, Tron, maybe Polygon, Chainlink, Ton, really quick. So that is exciting to see. So we are doing pretty good right now with the markets. And in the last video, folks, I was kind of talking about how we were seeing like these rising wedges kind of form throughout the markets. And I know that I had done some videos on, I believe it was Elrond. Somebody was telling me about, or we were talking about Elrond. Here it was. And I was talking and telling people like, we're going to see price spill. This is a little bit of a rising wedge here, and we're going to see the markets spill. But the bottom line, folks, is that a lot of the crypto markets were setting up for this little spill anyways. And let's just look at Bitcoin here, because I do believe Bitcoin, Bitcoin wasn't as much, but it is what it is. So right now with Bitcoin, folks, we have seen this symmetrical triangle, or this bull flagpole with a pennant. And this was supposed to be bullish, and things ripped off. The pattern printed. But there was some news about some ETF issues and things like that that kind of scared people. So we saw a very sharp sell-off. To me, that's showing us that the markets are still pretty fragile in the grand scheme of things. What's interesting is that we saw Bitcoin wick down to this lower Ganfan line, and it looks like it is kind of rebuilding itself. But on the weekly, we're going to look at the weekly Bitcoin charts. And here's what we got going on for Bitcoin. Right now, we are trading very nicely, very far away from this Ichimoku cloud. Okay, so right now I am expecting, or hoping, I should say, that Bitcoin, folks, can maybe stay within this boundary here. So I don't want to see Bitcoin go any lower than 38,400. But I do think that there is this chance for Bitcoin to maybe merge into this space and squeeze back up to like the $50,000-ish level. But when I look at like the weekly charts, folks, this price action to me is very far away from the Ichimoku cloud. And really, I would like to see this 50 moving average kind of come in like this. And I hate to say it, but I would like to see Bitcoin maybe kind of snuggle right into this little pattern, or this little Ganfan triangle here. We'll just have to wait and see what happens with Bitcoin right now. So it's just one of those things, folks. Right now, the markets are sensitive. We are playing the catch-up game, waiting for things to kind of cool off a little, because Bitcoin has been on an absolute tear since January of 2021, if you think about it. It doesn't seem like it, but Bitcoin has been on an absolute tear. It's up 164% since January. So, I mean, let's just check out the ICP charts here quick, and then we will do some high-level stuff here. So right now, I am hoping that we see ICP come up and test out this $22.67 level, folks. I really hope we do, and I hope we get to see this by the end of January or sooner. And I say by the end of January or sooner just to give us a little bit of time, but this is kind of the area that I am targeting. But like the Elrond chart I showed you, we are seeing ICP really track this rising wedge, and this is a very bearish symbol, or pattern, excuse me. But the one thing we have going for us is that it's a very shallow pattern, meaning that this thing's only like 2-week-old pattern. So I don't think we're going to see like crazy retracement results out of it. And if you guys notice, like the rest of the markets have been absolutely destroyed today. Destroyed. Internet computer is balling out of control. So what I'd like to see the IC do is I'd like to see it rip up to this $22-ish level, and I would like to see this turn into more of a channel. And if we can break this rising wedge, man, oh man, the gloves are coming off for the internet computer. So I would expect, though, that if we reach up to this $22 level, we are going to possibly need to do a little sideways trading. We are seeing history being made the last few weeks on the IC with the price action, folks, really killing it. Price action hadn't been above this Ichimoku cloud ever in its entire existence, because here is when ICP launched, and within a week, folks, the entire crypto market, Bitcoin retraced 50% within 10 days or something of the internet computer launch. And Sam Bankman-Fried also manipulated the project's price from like $80 a token 4 days before the launch all the way up to like $450 using his evil FTX exchange and perpetual futures. And I talk about this a lot, folks. And guess what? If you didn't know, I'm the one that published the information that Sam Bankman-Fried was using his exchange as an evil entity to wash out projects, folks. And I've published all of this stuff way, way, way back in time, folks. And I couldn't get anybody to really look at what I was saying. And this was when FTX was the golden boy. So April 18th of 2022, almost 2 years ago, here I am publishing my findings about how FTX was rug pulling all of these other tokens and projects like Ronin Network. I figured out that they were able to hose Ronin Network. So I'll link to this in the description as well. But there is a lot of information that I published on how Sam Bankman-Fried was being so evil at a time, folks, when everybody was his biggest fan. He was here to save crypto, you know, all this other BS. I was the only person speaking out about it. And boy, oh boy, did I get crucified. So never be afraid to speak your mind in this space, especially if you know stuff like that is going on. So right now with ICP, folks, you know, I'm hoping that price comes up to this $22.50 level, and I'm hoping that over the next week or two, we can maybe get a little bit of a sideways trade on this level. And what I would like to see is something like a ascending triangle form. So something like this, and then this will set us up to move higher. Man, there's a lot to be thankful for with the internet computer, folks. And I have been so privileged to be so close to the community at the internet, you know, within the internet computer. I started my crypto journey on the internet computer about 2 years ago. And I've been in crypto a lot longer than that. But as far as really latching onto the IC, you know, I've been in this community for 2 years now. And this has been crazy because I've had opportunities to work almost as like a subcontractor for Dfinity, kind of on some special teams in the background, developing, you know, support for the ecosystem and things like that. I've been a community grants member. It's just been this wild ride, and I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful for my experiences, you know, with the IC. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a little long, but I love you all. And I'm going to be doing a live stream probably later today. So stick around. We'll go over the live price charts. It's a great time for you to ask questions in the chat. If you want your other crypto projects that you're following, if you want me to do TA on those, you know, be my guest and shill those tickers in the comments. Folks, love you all. Also, give William Laurent a big time follow. He is the voice you hear of this song. Also, I'm a Wojak animator, so give him a sub and hit up my Wojak YouTube channel. Once I get crypto retired here, I might go into some full-time animation with that.
Oh, can't you see that ICP? Go jump and lay